Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
It's not been a great start to the year for the British High Street. Just yesterday, the fashion chain Select announced up to 2,000 job cuts. Earlier this month, Toys R Us collapsed into administration along with the electronics retailer Maplin. Experts say retailers are battling a perfect storm of pressures, and our reporter Greg Dawson has been on the High Street in Chelmsford.
As high streets go, Chelmsford's is faring much better than most. Just 1 in 10 shops are vacant here. Scratch the surface though, and there are signs of a wider struggle. Moss Bros says sales are lower than expected. Mothercare is struggling to pay its debts. BHS is long gone. Maplin going. And even the traditional strong performers aren't doing as well as they'd like. For the 5th year in a row, John Lewis has had to cut staff bonuses because of a fall in profits. So what exactly is going wrong on the British High Street, and what can be done to help?
With my online delivery, I've got Premier Delivery, so I can get it next day. So literally, if I'm sitting at home watching TV, I can just do one click. For big items, maybe if I'm going to spend a lot of money on them, then I need to go into the shop because I like to see what they are. But to be honest with you, I love shopping, online shopping, when it's just cheap clothes and tops, because they come the next day. If I don't like it, I'll send it back.
But the growth of online shopping means less money spent in the physical stores, meaning they have less money for rent and business rates.
We all need to take part and believe in the future of our town centres. You can see from the shops here, they're of varying sizes, they have varying cost bases. Department stores obviously have much larger cost bases than smaller shops, but pro rata, they still face the same challenges. They have the minimum wage, they have their business rates, they have the repairs of the buildings, everything adds up.
David says there's little the government can do to stop people shopping online, but says there are other ways to help.
They can do something about it with business rates, but whether there is any political will or any fiscal will remains to be seen.
And when the major players on the high street say they're feeling the burn of business rates, you can bet so are the smaller firms. Heather was hoping for a business rate cut this year, bit of a surprise then when they were increased.
My bill last year was £668 last year, and a month I should say, and this year's it's going to be £744 a month. I feel more pressurised to have more stock. There's nothing you want worse than a customer coming in and saying, oh, we haven't got it, oh, well, I might as well get it online.
The government says rates will be assessed more frequently from 2021. But amidst all the anxiety, there are some feeling positively chirpy. Last year, Bill qualified for a rate relief introduced to try and help thousands of small firms.
Well, as you can see, I was paying £6,120 when I took the shop over. I'm now paying £1,530. That's a big saving for me.
One happy shop owner, but if there are to be more, campaigners say politicians have to find ways to level the playing field with the online competition before even more of our shops disappear.
A little reminder of John Lewis there in
took me back in time.
Did it take you back? What's your answer to levelling the playing field for retailers on the high street?
Yeah, so first thing to say is obviously there's a mega trend going on here, the trend towards online, and we have to be realistic that you can't stop that trend actually. However, and we should also say Britain's very good at online retail, and lots of new jobs are being created by that as well. So it isn't just one-way traffic. In terms of what's already been done to level the playing field, we should just call that out. When I was MD of John Lewis, I perhaps infamously was talking about tax for online retailers. There has been now the move to make sure that online retailers are domiciled in the UK and they pay fair tax, so that's been important. And of course, there's already been the increase in the threshold for paying business rates for small businesses, and about 600,000 small businesses will not pay business rates at all. So some things have already been done.
Right. Now, you mentioned the issue of tax and taxing fairly. What about taxing revenues rather than profits here in the UK?
Yes, so what I think is still to be done, so we said there's been some progress already, I do still think the current format of business rates is quite old-fashioned. So businesses don't just make profit on their property, but on lots of other things that they employ. So I do think there's an opportunity to reform that. Whether it just be on revenue, actually that is not going to advantage businesses in very tight margin areas against those that are naturally more profitable sectors.
Right, but that's what the government is looking at, isn't it?
Yes.
It is also looking at this idea of taxing corporations, taxing them online, not just on profits, but on their revenues, and they might even consider doing that unilaterally. You wouldn't support that?
Well, what I do support is looking at other methods. They're examining that at the moment. There isn't a commitment. My view is there probably has to be a basket of different things, actually, because that's how businesses make money. We already tax on employment, don't we? We tax on property, we tax on profit. It's the question of the balance between them.
All right, let's leave it there.
I've been